La-di-da-da-da. Hey, I hope everyone else is okay after the storm last night. I just got internet back a little bit ago, so I'm happy to be with you guys. It's a fortunate day. I get to do, I only have two. I got just two podcasts today. My own, Locked On 76ers, and then there might be a little action on Locked On 76ers tonight after the Sixers game tonight. But anyway, goodness gracious, great to be with you guys. I did catch up, as I said yesterday, with Brandon Graham. I did catch up yesterday with Zach Ertz at the Timoteo sports event in North Philly yesterday. Putting a nice little package together for you guys. It'll be ready on Monday. So I'll just tell you this. Zach Ertz, doing great. Brandon Graham, enjoying retirement, just like he enjoys everything in life. I didn't realize Brandon Graham's a golfer. He enjoys golf. I've never heard him talk about it before. Doing that a lot more. Does get the honey-do list, which he went over with me. So, yeah, well, all that together on Monday. And Pastor Rob, who runs basically House of Hope in Hunting Park, Timoteo Sports. I've done a couple of events for them over the years. They're a fantastic organization, so it was great to catch up with all those guys yesterday. And then rush home to sit down and watch the Philadelphia Phillies remember how to play baseball. That was a lot of fun as well. Bryce Harper, absolutely locked in. He has one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard from him. There was Ricky Bobby. There was a lot of Ricky Bobby in this. It was like if Ricky Bobby could do an impression of someone who might have an ounce of humility. It's what Bryce Harper said yesterday after the Phillies 13-0 win over the San Francisco Giants. I look forward to talking about that. Also, his first 4 extra base hit game in his career, which is also incredible. Mets got rained out, so the Phillies are back in sole possession of first place by a half game over the New York Mets. Jesus Luzardo, you got the best version of him that you could get, which was awesome. Yesterday's game was just plain old-fashioned fun, is what it was. So we're going to get into all that. Also, some expectations for Summer League. One thing in particular when it comes to VJ Edgecombe and the 76ers way. Like, I remember years ago when Cal Ripken Jr. was getting ready to break Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak. One of the big things that was said around national media, different outlets and all that, was the Oriole way, quote unquote, the Oriole way, which was kind of it was almost like in a lot of ways, the Braves way. It was like you're drafted by a team, you're brought up through a team. In Cal Ripken's case, you were born in the area of the team, and you just progress and play your whole career with the one team. The Oriole way, I remember people talking about that. The Sixers way is not one that I find to be a good way. If I was on the 76ers way, I would say recalculate. Can we get a little recalculating here, GPS, please and thank you? Can we find alternate routes, please? Alternate routes, however you like to say it. Can we get a little bit of that, please? Because I don't like this way. This way is bad way. Don't like this way. VJ Edgecombe is a guy that reminds me a lot of Tyrese Maxey. I pointed out 2 things from so far his first and only NBA post-game press conference after he had 28 points and 10 rebounds. The Sixer way is, no. You don't have to play. But VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, their way is kind of, no, I got to play. I want to play. Now, Maxey at the end of last year, they ended up shutting down. And to be honest with you, do I think they milked it with Maxey? I absolutely do. But he was shooting terribly with the way his finger was healing or trying to heal with the finger injury. He was shooting terrible. So good. I'm glad they shut him down for multiple reasons. But he wants to play and he wants to win. VJ Edgecombe wants to play and he wants to win. When listening to his post-game press conference, his only post-game press conference, I told you guys how much I loved that he was acting like he lost a playoff game after he lost a NBA Summer League game. And I'm like, this guy's great. But then he dropped, we'll just get to Vegas and see how it goes. I mean, next game in Utah. Yeah, that's the ticket. So I don't like the 76ers way. And the 76ers way is No. You don't have to. No. You don't have to. That's kind of their way. When it's guys saying, I want to. No, I really want to. And the way this whole thing's been handled in Summer League is almost an immediate introduction into the Sixers way, which sucks. If VJ Edgecombe wants to play, go out there and unleash the hounds, man. If he wants to go out there and try to win, let him do it. The idea of load management in Summer League is ridiculous. The idea that this is a thumb injury that's made him miss 2 games in Summer League is ridiculous. And the fact that the 76ers have put me in a place where I got to give a damn whether or not somebody's playing in the Summer League or not is also ridiculous. But yet here we are. And I hear myself say this. I think these things, and I'm like, it's Summer League, come on. And I'm like, no, this is what the 76ers do. Don't worry about it. It'll be taken care of. You don't have to play. What do you think you're going to play in the NBA? Like, just let this guy be him. Don't get him. Don't put it in his mindset where he doesn't have to do everything he can. And that is the 76ers way that I can't stand. And just all it is, I'm not saying this is going to ruin his career. I'm not saying this is, going to lead to him wanting to leave here or anything like that. All I'm saying is it just sucks. The optics of it suck. When you're already used to stars that have been here for a long time, just kind of doing whatever they want, and that kind of being the way of the 76ers, don't start it right out of the gate with VJ Edgecombe. And that's what this feels like. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the lineup tonight. But it's just something that was rattling around in my brain throughout yesterday. While I'm watching these kids run around, the ages were 7 to 14. These kids are running around with Timoteo Sports, having a time of their lives, right? And it's just like the essence of. I see Zach Ertz throwing these kids passes. I see Brandon Graham walking around with guys signing autographs. Connor Barwin was also there because that's just kind of charity event. Connor Barwin. He's like the charity event Batman, and I mean that in the most complimentary way. Like, guy just wants to help out. Literally, his own organization, make the world better. Like, what's more pure than that? I'm a big fan of him. I've heard so many stories about his father trying to help the community and all that stuff. Just big fan of Connor Barwin, and it's like these guys just want to help, and they're out there for the joy and the love of the game. And these kids are running around enjoying every second of that. And I'm thinking, on the heels of already having VJ Edgecombe stuff already in my head, I'm just like, this is the purest form of it, where they're just loving to play. And then you get to the Sixers, you're like, no, you don't got to play. You don't got to play. By the way, here's a big bag of cash. There was no big bag of cash exchange yesterday. Just the fun of the game. More on that later. I am limited, unfortunately, in time today, so I want to make sure I do get to this Philly stuff. So the Phillies win 13-0 yesterday over the San Francisco Giants. And Bryce Harper's on fire. Jesus Luzardo was great. Kyle Schwarber hit his 29th home run of the season. It was just a lot of fun. They had 6 hits yesterday with runners in scoring position. They had a 7-run 8th inning. They just poured it on. Yastrzemski, for crying out loud, was pitching yesterday. He almost took Kyle Schwarber's head off. How dare you? But yesterday was, when your team scores 13 runs and doesn't allow any, that's a lot of fun. But the best part of yesterday, of all the great stuff that we saw in yesterday's game, from Jesus Luzardo having all his pitches work for him, to Jesus Luzardo also, by the way, losing it a little bit in that second inning where he had a 10-pitch at bat. Who was that against? That was against Schmidt. 10-pitch at bat. Caleb Cotham comes out. He's like, you good? You good? Tell me you're good. And he walked Schmidt, by the way. 10 pitches, and he lost the battle. Luzardo was like, yeah, I'm cool. Lee strikes out. They were saying on the broadcast, Ruben Amaro Jr. was highlighting on the broadcast that they might have noticed something that Luzardo was doing again that he has done in his previous starts where he's gotten rocked. The elite and the ugly of Jesus Luzardo. And they're like, hey, maybe you should stop. You're doing the thing. You're doing the thing. And Jesus was like, I'm going to stop doing that thing. And then, all right, cool. I'm going to go now. Caleb Cotham goes back to the dugout. And then he strikes out Lee, and he strikes out Matos. A sweeper and a fastball puts him out, knocks him down. And that they get out of that inning, no problem. Then in the 2 innings later, Harper gets the home run and all that. As great as Jesus Luzardo was yesterday, the best thing in yesterday's game was seeing Bryce Harper dialed in on basically everything that was away. I mean, his home run was middle to outer half of the plate, kind of. But he dropped a great barrel on it and got Verlander on that. Then got a double later in the game, and then 2 more doubles later in the game. He was just cooking, and he looked great. It's hard to describe a good swing in baseball and have that as anything close to optimism. You know? And Bryce Harper, in the last couple of games, had some pretty good swings. Like, he just looked like he was returning to that violent swing, that quick bat through the zone. Looked like he was returning to it. And then yesterday, he gets pitches middle to outer half of the plate, sometimes outside corner, and he just puts a great barrel on it. And he did that a couple of times against Verlander yesterday. Certainly did it to the bullpen yesterday. He was just on. So let's go back for a second here with Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, just 2 weeks ago, is standing in the Phillies clubhouse being like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to get any better or if it's going to get any worse. But anyway, I'm playing. It's like, you sure about that, Bryce? Going into yesterday, you're talking about a 167 batting average. 167 since coming back. Enough strikeouts to raise the eyebrows a little bit. And he goes into yesterday's game with that, and he has a 4-for-6 day with 3 runs scored and an RBI. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good day at the plate there for Bryce Harper. The other thing I loved about it was what he had to say after the game, and that was a very comforting thing because I don't mind Bryce Harper, having a little swag. Obviously, I don't mind Bryce Harper going up there and speaking his mind. So I couldn't find the full context of the quote. Like, I couldn't find the question. A number of times Bryce Harper is asked about how he feels. I watched what NBC Sports Philly was able to provide when it came to his post-game comments. And I don't think this wasn't in that chunk. So I think Bob Cooney is actually out there. My man Bob is out there working for them now, which is great. And the line of questions I think it came from was, you haven't been feeling good. You said the other way, yeah, you're not feeling good, not going to get any worse, not going to get any better, but this is as good as it gets. So you're here. This is where you feel good. Are you feeling good? How are you feeling? Is it good? So I think this is in the context of, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Like, hey guys, I'm good. Like, this is, yeah, I'm good. I think that's the context. But either way, this is what Harper had to say after his first Major League Baseball game, where he had 4 extra
I'm really
bases.
good. I mean, I really am. I don't want to, put that out there and everybody go, what's he talking about? But I know when I'm going well, and I'm one of the best in baseball. And, like I said, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I feel great. It's just putting myself in the plus counts. I haven't done that. I mean, you guys have seen that, and I haven't done that. So I feel stronger than ever. I feel like today I think that was being able to kind of go oppo and do those things. Anywhere else, I might have 3 homers, right? So it's like those are things you think about. And I hate talking about individual and all that kind of stuff, but you guys know that. But today, like, it kind of just, if I get into good counts and don't swing it crap away or in or anything else, then I'll be right where I need to be. I'm really good. I mean, I really am. I don't want to put that out there and everybody go, what's he talking about? But I know when I'm going well, and I'm one of the best in baseball. And
yeah, if you're not first, you're last. I pissed excellence. I don't know what to do with my hands. Vibe of yesterday. Of course I did, because I'm an idiot. But anyway, I love it. One of the most important things in all of sports, really, is confidence. It's confidence. That doesn't sound like a guy that's lacking any confidence. The guy that spoke to the media 2 weeks ago in the Phillies clubhouse there, and it was just like, I'm here. I don't know how this is going to go. Like, the vibe he was putting out there was, I don't know, I'm not going to be 100% healthy again. I mean, not at least this year, and I don't think I can make this any worse, but I know it's not going to get any better. But if I can just maintain this level, then I guess I'll be okay. To see him come out yesterday to get that kind of plate coverage, to have that kind of production, is awesome. And look, I know from all the entire conversation yesterday after the game, a lot of people like, is he back? Is he back? Is he back? I did a Fox 29 hit last night for a fantastic sports show. And, is he back? That kind of thing. He could have had a great day. The wrist could have been feeling strong. And for whatever reason, he had it. There's going to be plenty of other times where he doesn't have it. But here is why I think Bryce Harper does have it. Yesterday, he did something that was pretty normal for the season. A lot of people made a big deal out of first home run in over a month, that kind of thing. First home run for Bryce Harper in over a month. Okay, well, let's hold on. He missed a month. All right. But if you break it down to games, which is, I feel, more important and more on point, 9 games since his last home run. If you go through his season, now 10 home runs in the season, if you go through his season, the breaks he has between home runs, like the worst one is 9 or 10 games. There's a 10-game one, there's a 9-game one. So if you're just going by a game-by-game basis and not, he hasn't played for a month, he hit his first home run in a month, yay! Well, okay, good. We should be happy that this is the first time he hit a home run in 9 games, or he hit a home run in 9 games. We should be happy about that, because normally throughout the season, prior to him going on the IL and missing a month, he would have lulls of 9, 10 games without a home run. So that's normal. So now he misses a month and still logging 9 games back. You're talking about him hitting a home run. That's pretty good. That's normal. That's a guy that when he did go on the IL, he was putting together a great month for himself. And then all of a sudden, it was unbearable at that point. And he couldn't deal with the wrist anymore. He was still coming off the elbow from getting hit, obviously. So for me, one of the biggest things is, yes, that it happened. He hit the home run. Yes, that he had a 4-hit day, a 4 extra base hit day. But also, he went back to kind of a state of normalcy where there's not this big layoff of home run power. So, yeah, you asked me if he's back. I think he's back to the hitter that we saw right before he went on the IL. I think from what you could expect from Bryce Harper for the rest of the year is a 280 to 305 hitter and a guy that could still get you those home runs, every 9 days at worst. So I love this. And I do think you're going to get from Bryce Harper after the All-Star break, at some point, you're going to get a guy that looks like for a couple of weeks that he can absolutely carry you and win you games. That's the guy that's a 2-time MVP. And that's what I think the Phillies are going to get. Now, maybe not for the rest of the season, but at least get back to that point where he can carry you, where other guys might be struggling, where Nick Castellanos goes into an 0 for 20, or Alec Boehm goes into an 0 for 20, or Trey Turner falls off the face of the earth, or Kyle Schwarber's power dries up for a minute. That's why you pay Bryce Harper $330 million for those stretches of games where he just carries you. And maybe you don't have a stretch like you had in Houston where you could barely eke out a run for 3 games. That's what you look forward to. And I believe he is back to that type of player that can bring it. 3 games in San Diego against a team that's had some struggles lately. Some of those struggles against the Phillies themselves. So you hope that he keeps it going in that regard. By the way, I don't think they've named a pitcher for tomorrow's game yet. Ranger Suarez is supposed to get the start for the Phils. So I look forward to seeing how all that goes down. 9:40 start time, by the way, tomorrow. Yeah, still undecided for the Phillies and Padres tomorrow. Going back to Jesus Luzardo's game yesterday, there is the elite and the ugly of Jesus Luzardo so far this year. 20 earned runs, we all know, over a 2-start span. 23 over 3 starts. Like it was rough for Jesus Luzardo, certainly. Yesterday, he got Adames strikeout on his slider for his first strikeout of the game. And then he basically just kept pouring it on. And that's just not something that we have seen with great consistency of Jesus Luzardo. My question going into yesterday's game was, all right, what version of Jesus Luzardo do we see today? Do we see much like the Phillies offense, is it feast or famine? For him to log 7 scoreless yesterday, is such a great sign for a number of reasons. One, just the fact that it happened, even in a game where you didn't necessarily need it to happen because you're off. Hey, offense is here, everybody. That's good. But also his last start until after the All-Star break. So now he gets to shut it down coming off a start like this. Yeah, I could take a week and a half off of baseball. I could take a week and a half to myself, knowing that, oh, yeah, that's what I'm coming off the mound from. Great. You could dine on that for a week and a half. Also, 7 strikeouts for him yesterday. And the other great thing is when he has had the getting good, he's throwing 95 to 105 pitches. Like he's lasting in these games, and his velocity is staying pretty much on point. 106 pitches yesterday. Goes into the 7th inning at 92 pitches, and Rob Thompson doesn't say, "Oh yeah, let's get him out. Let's let's have him feel good about the 6 innings he got." No, what would really feel good for Jesus Luzardo is getting back to the same level that he was at before he really started hitting the bumps in the road, which is a guy that gives you 7 innings of strong baseball. And yesterday he gave you 7 scoreless. Enjoy the All-Star break, Jesus Luzardo. And it was the type of start, again, I feel like a broken record saying this about Christopher Sanchez, saying this about Zach Wheeler, saying this about Ranger Suarez. Everything was working. Keeping guys off balance with the slider, the fastball, the sweeper was working really well with him for him yesterday. Just everything. He got Matos on a high fastball in the 5th inning. It was a 1-2 pitch, and Matos just free swinging at it, man. Just free swinging at it. And that's pretty much the start that he had yesterday. It was a sight for sore eyes. Adames, by the way, his first and last strikeout. No, who was it? Was it his first and last? Yeah, it was his first and last strikeout yesterday. Same pitch that he got Adames on. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Well, that's pretty dope.
All right. Real quick on the Sixers. I still want to get your comments in here and everything. I can't be alone in the idea that people don't like the way the Sixers handle their players. And when I was working at the Fanatic on the radio, the flagship station of the Sixers, we would put requests in to, not thinking we were going to get anybody, but you had to. And you put a request in for Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid, right? Hilarious. And we never got them, but you had to ask. And it would be explained to me through people in power that basically they do what they want. There's that, simple as that. Baseball used to be known for great arrogance in the clubhouse. And that's not necessarily as true as it used to be. But with the Sixers, I noticed at that time, the way they were with players was a lot like baseball used to be. It was like nobody could out-arrogant a baseball player. And the Sixers were giving so much entitlement to their players. And the players, I think, in a lot of ways also already had that entitlement coming in, almost to say, like, oh, you guys tanked for 3 years for me. Yeah, what are you going to do, trade? No, not happening, that kind of thing. There's kind of like that arrogance about them. And the NBA supposedly getting involved. Well, supposedly. The NBA getting involved and moving on from players and all that stuff, or moving on from front office executives to try to win. Just the entitlement was off the charts. You don't like it. And it makes playing the game seem secondary. So when VJ Edgecombe starts out his NBA career, was sitting out a couple games that he could certainly play in, and most likely going to be in the lineup tonight, it really puts a bad taste in my mouth, especially with one of the things that we were looking forward to with VJ Edgecombe coming to town is a culture change. I've talked a lot in the offseason about a changing of the guard to Tyrese Maxey really running the show for the Sixers this upcoming season. And I hope that does happen because I think to survive, you're going to have Tyrese Maxey be the number one guy. Because you can't depend on Joel Embiid. You can't depend on Paul George anymore. I would love for those guys to go out and play 75 games, 70 games. Ain't going to happen, but I'd love to see it. So the safe bet is saying, all right, you're bringing in Maxey as the number one guy, or you have Maxey as the number one guy. You're bringing in VJ Edgecombe as another mentality that is all about winning, and a guy that's going to bring in a new culture. Jared McCain seems to have a lot of that as well. That's what you bring. That's what you want to bring to the table for the foreseeable future. And then to say, okay, yeah, he's here because he really wants to win. He's going to be a changing of the guard when it comes to the culture and all that stuff. And then he gets here and you're like, you don't have to play. It's a terrible taste in my mouth. The good news, and here's what's the saving grace of it all, is that when I look at VJ Edgecombe, I don't see a guy that's easily influenced. I see a guy that is going to be headstrong. Yes, he's going to listen to the powers that are in authority. But all in all, if he's stepping on that court, he's going to have that snarl about him. And that's one of the things I loved about it. 28 points, pretty damn good. 10 rebounds, pretty damn good. The defense he provided in that game, pretty damn good. But when you look at everything else, it's what's off the court. It's how his mind works. And I really don't want the Sixers putting bad thoughts in that guy's head. The Sixer way, to put it plainly. Let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code FARS to get $20 off your first purchase of the Game Time app. How about Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's phlsportsnation.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how wonderful people are doing. April. Good morning, April. Penn. What's going on, Penn? Rye. Good morning, Farsi and friends. Not used to these early You got me. Morning all, says Ari. Ari, what's up, buddy? What are you, on the East Coast, Ari? Up? My man. Philly Magic, what's going on? Great, the Phillies scored 13 runs. Now they'll score 3 all weekend. I know. I'm in the same boat. Buddy, what's happening? April, Sixers way is soft like Charmin. Sean Kilrain, what's going on? Bryce, yesterday, I think it was 4 for 6. Whatever. He had a great day. Home run, 3 doubles, RBI, 10 total bases. Yeah, that's a good day at the office. Everything went the opposite to opposite field. It's the first game Harper's career. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Danny Prado, what's going on? Sean Kilrain, is he back, Farzy? Thoughts? I think he's back. Look, I don't like jumping on that, but when you see the swings he's been putting together, when you see and I do there's a lot to that, I believe. You see the swings he's been getting, you also see the opposite field power. You get that outer half of the plate coverage like he had yesterday. That's a great sign that you're back. And listening to the pros talk about it all the time, when we start going opposite field, that's when you really know. And I remember Jim Thome would be struggling. Then he starts hitting the ball to opposite field, and it's like, oh boy, here comes an 11 homer month. That type of thing. Jason, I'm not saying the 11 homer month is going to come from Bryce Harper. I'm just saying he's back. Jason A, what's going on? Rye, hello. 1983 Sixers, time for a change. Protest Harris to sell the team. How about them putting plans together for Market East? Hey, look, I just want Center City to feel like Center City again. Like it's popping, man. Like it's hopping. Like when I was a kid, and every once in a while I'd go to the gallery. Coming in from the suburbs, go to the gallery. That's right. Excluding the Eagles, who wins the next championship? Wings? Yeah. Phillies or WNBA team? Okay. I like that question. I'm going to say the Phillies. The Wings, man. Scooter Dominy went down. Scott Dominy. Love that dude. He went down. They're having a great start. He goes down. That's their energy guy. That's their Scooter, man. But I want to say Phillies. Ken Saw, good morning, my brother. Good morning. God bless you as well. Number 5, hit the like button, peoples. Number 5, always love you. You have to play this game with fear and ignorance. Thank you, Ari. Yes. Is that what the Sixers are saying to VJ Edgecombe? Sean Kilrain, last season, the Sixers ranked 30th in rebounds per game. Good Lord. All these are bottom north. 30th in rebounding percentage, 30th in defensive rebounding percentage. They're terrible. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right, hey, Monday, we're going to have a nice package on the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to have a nice package with Pastor Rob of Timoteo Sports and House of Hope. We're also going to involve have Zach Ertz, obviously, speaking about where his career is at, and Brandon Graham enjoying retirement and what this team needs to do for the young guys to take the next step in helping out this team to get back to a Super Bowl. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie. Oh, wait. Flyers haven't won in almost all our lifetimes. Time for Comcast to sell the team. Don't see that ever happening. And I really like what Jonesy and Danny Briere have in plan. I got this question yesterday. I think something great's coming for the Flyers in the next couple of years. I'm not saying it's going to be like a wait and it's going to be boring and drag out. I'm saying you got young picks this year, 2 first-rounders already. You got more next year. Your salary cap gets extremely easier after this season. I think we're going to be back and we're going to get flyered up in a year. I think this will pull us in, get our attention this year. And then next year, I think we get the Flyers. Get flyered up, baby. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. Ari Stein, can the Eagles go 20-0? Possibly. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. Be back with you guys a little bit later today for Locked On 76ers. And maybe even back tonight for Locked On 76ers, a post-game edition of the 76ers Summer League game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys throughout the day.